I turned 36 last month, and I am the oldest daughter of an immigrant family, and I really wish I had like an older sister to kind of tell me how to be successful and happy in life and kind of guide me through life. So if you are in your 20s and 30s and you needed like an older sister or ate, which is what we call an older sister in Tagalog or in Filipino language, then watch this video. Number one is that no one will save you but you. And this is so straightforward and probably very real, in a sense that like if you are struggling financially or struggling in life, no one will save you but yourself. And so this is also kind of like a reality check that humans are inherently, selfish. They really don't think about anyone else but themselves. And so this is like a lesson that I have learned throughout the years, that I myself am responsible for me. What that just means is that you have to take ownership of everything that is happening to your life and not play the victim mentality when it comes to circumstances in your life. And when I realized this, that's when I was like, you know what? I need to really do what needs to be done in order to improve my life. Number two, surrounding myself with good people that are going to help me become the better version of myself. And I'm going to be very honest with you. Nowadays, I can really count how many friends I have with one finger, and that is including my husband. And for someone like me who used to be very social, who used to have a lot of friends before, that is really like surprising. And my mom would probably be like, what? Like, you have no more friends now? I have been around people who've made me feel bad about myself, and cutting them off has really helped me in life. If you are in that phase where you don't have a lot of friends, it's okay, right? I always say quality is better than quantity, and I always say that even though I don't really practice it. But nowadays, like, I'm in my late 30s now, officially speaking. I don't really care if I don't have a lot of friends, as long as I have a few that I can call my true friends and those who really help me become the better version of myself. And with that said, there are different people in our lives for different purposes, and some of them don't really stay long, and some of them are kind of like your lifer people, meaning that these are people that are going to be with you all throughout your life. But that is just the reality of life. I think that it is really true that we go through different seasons where we would meet specific people in certain seasons and they cannot be with us all throughout the whole journey. And that's totally fine, because each of them will give us a lesson to learn in each stage of our life. Number three is that when I was starting out as a new grad nurse, I thought I was going to be staying at one job forever. And this is also because I have been surrounded with a lot of aunties, a lot of family members who are nurses who literally stayed in one job until they retired. But I've learned to really take risks, especially when you're young, because you kind of have more of a time frame to recover, and you have more of a better risk tolerance when you're younger versus when you're older. So I actually took this risk when I was a new grad nurse. I've been working for 3 years, and I told myself I need to go somewhere else where I could grow as a nurse, where I could grow as a person. So I moved out of my parents' house, and I literally took the risk and moved out of my city and moved to a different city all by myself. And to this day, I still feel really proud of myself for doing that. And I've always really pat myself in the back for doing that, because I learned so much living by myself. And I really fully believe that, if you don't take risks, if you stay where you're at, you're never going to change, right? So taking risks and changing jobs, changing locations will really force you to grow as a person, and also professionally and even personally. Take the risk. If you're in your 20s, like there's no reason for you not to take that risk. Number 4 is take care of your health. And as a nurse, like this is something that we always educate our patients on. I'm a nurse practitioner now, and I really I'm big on education when it comes to my patients in the clinic. And I never really like practice it myself. You know how like you tell them, you know how nurses like tell them you have to eat healthy, but then like after your 12-hour shift, you'd go to like a McDonald's or like go to Chick-fil-A or like a fast food to grab your food because you're just not having the time and the energy to cook at home. But like you only have one body, you only have one health. And there is like a saying that goes that, what is it? Like you worry about so many things in life until you worry about your health, and that is the only thing that you have to worry about. So it just means that like all the riches, all the money, all the success really don't mean anything if you're not healthy or you don't have good health, right? If you're dying pretty much. And as we get older, our bodies really take a toll, physically and mentally. And I think that I wish I would have been more proactive in exercising and really taking care of my body in my 20s. I have 2 kids now. I gained a lot of weight like on my second pregnancy. It was so hard to like really lose that weight, and I never thought that I could even lose that weight, but thank God I was able to. But take care of your health. Like it's really important. And when they say health is wealth, that is so true. Take care of your physical health, your mental health. So a lot of people really downplay a lot of their mental health issues, like even like getting into therapy. But I think that nowadays, like the stigma when it comes to mental health issues has improved. Have gone to therapy before for, when I was going through postpartum, and it really helped a lot. And I really encourage you to take care of yourself physically and mentally as well. Number 5 is that time goes by really fast. And it's so cliche to say that, and for somebody who has kids, like I really see this happen like right in front of my eyes. Like my kids are now 4 and 2, and they grow so fast. Time goes by fast. And with that said, like if you are wanting to do something in life that you've been wanting to do, just do it now, because like it's gonna go by fast. Time is gonna pass by anyways. When I was a nurse, I was even debating going back to school as a nurse practitioner because I was like, it's gonna take a while to, like go back to school and like really sacrifice my earning potential as a nurse. But that 2.5 years really went by fast. And now that I look back, I'm like, I have been a nurse practitioner for 7 years now. And that is crazy. Like looking back at my old videos, if you've seen my old videos, you can see my whole journey with being a nurse practitioner and like even working as an ICU nurse, years ago. And time goes by fast. Like it's crazy. So do what you want to do now and really cherish every moment that you have right now. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is about investing. And if you have been following me for the past like few years, I have been big on financial freedom and investing as a nurse. And if you're in your 20s, like really start investing already. Even though in your 20s, like, or as a new grad, your main focus is just surviving, I really think that investing your money at that time would really help you become wealthy in the future and really give you that, that boost and give you that head start when it comes to money. And I wish I really started earlier. I did not start investing until my late 20s, so early 30s, and I really wish I did invest before, but I came from a family with no like financial background. Even in our culture, it's almost like taboo to talk about money. Even talking about your salary is like cringe, or like you shouldn't be talking about this in front of other people. But I really wish that I had just that education early on in my career and also early on in life to start investing early. And so if you're at that stage where you should be investing but you don't know how to start, I actually have a free class, just shameless plug, coming up soon. So if you want to sign up for this class, it's a free class right here. You can go to nursetoinvest.com/class to learn how financial freedom could be achieved just by stock market investing, and even like working as a full-time nurse, because this is something that I wish I had when I was, early on in my career. One of the reasons why you should be investing early is because of compound interest. And it really, really is the eighth wonder of the world. If you had invested earlier, there is this really cool graph that I have come across before that talks about like compound interest, and it's going to be in here, where somebody who invested earlier, even though they stopped investing at a certain point, could have more money in the future than someone who invested longer and started later, just because of compound interest. And it really is just like interest on top of interest. And if you really let it work in your favor, like it could do so many great things when it comes to your, investments. 7 is give back. And it's just, it feels better to be able to share your blessings to other people. And with that said, I just realized, like in the last years, actually now that I'm in my late 30s, that everything is really energy, including money, including wealth, and how like sharing your energy with other people really is what's going to give you that abundant mindset. And that, I'm so big in manifestation and like the law of attraction. I really fully believe it. And yeah, so give back, because it will go back to you tenfold if you're able to give back. And giving back also just really, really shows the abundance in your life, because if you are not lacking anything, if you have an abundance of something, then you're able to really share it with other people. So I am at the point in my life right now where my mindset is like, I have everything that I need, I can afford anything I want. And so being able to share this with other people, the knowledge that I know now, is something that I love to do, because I have everything. I don't need anything else, and it's good to share this to someone who may need it. Next is, it kind of goes back to the last tip or advice that I have, where I said it's all about perspective. I think that we view life a certain way, and how we view it really is what will kind of help us look at it differently. What I mean by this is that even changing your language when it comes to the things that you go through in life can make a big difference. For example, you know how people always say the phrase, I have to, like when you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, I have to go to work. I have to pick up my daughter. I have to like go to the doctors, or I have to work this weekend. Changing that one little phrase or that one little part of the sentence to I get to really changes your whole perspective. And I think the happiest people really are the people who are thankful, who are living in the moment. Because if you just change it to I get to, like, notice how much of a change the message comes out to be. I get to go to work today. I get to pick up my daughter from school. I get to go to the doctor when I'm sick. I get to work on the weekends to make more money. So, I mean, like, everything is perspective. Like, it really, like, our life is a big mindset game. There is one, like, social media, like, video post that I've seen before where a bottle of water is like, I think it's like 50 cents who like said this or something, where a bottle of water is $3 at a gas station, like $7 at a restaurant, and then like $15 in the airport. It's just water, but the location or where it's at changes the price of it. So it really is all about perspective, and also a lot about how you view the value of things depending on where you're at in life. So really change your perspective sometimes can help you a lot. And lastly, this is something that I wish I knew in my 20s, is that don't put too much pressure on yourself. I am a very much of a planner. I grew up thinking that I would reach specific milestones or like achievements in life by a certain age. I remember when I was younger, I said I was gonna get married at 26 years old. I was gonna have kids at 28. I'm gonna have a house before 30. You know, like all those things, I tend to be very, very like specific on what I want in life. And although those are a great way for you to be able to be on track of what you want to do in life, I think that releasing that pressure into just knowing that, you know, we all have different like timelines in life. Like what's gonna happen for you is gonna happen for you at the right time, is gonna give you much comfort into knowing that, you know, you don't have to put too much pressure on yourself to achieve these things at a specific time in your life. And I always also remind myself that life is really a marathon, and although there may be some sprints that you have to go through in like specific times in your life, you know, you don't have to sprint all the time. You don't have to hustle all the time. You don't have to always like work hard all the time, right? I fully believe that there are some times where you have to do it. I have been in that hustle season in the last, I say 5 years of my life, and I'm still in that hustle season. But I know for sure that there will come a time when I need to slow down. And in my 20s, I really put a lot of pressure on myself in achieving specific things. Like I wanted to be a trauma nurse practitioner. I wanted to take care of the sickest patients. I said that I was gonna be a badass, you know, like medical provider. And then I realized that, you know, your priorities, the things that you want now may not be the things that you want in the future, and that your goals and everything else will change along the way, and that, you know, you don't have to be too hard on yourself. And so if you're in your 20s and you are a nurse, you don't know what specialty you want to work in, you don't know why you hate working at med-surg, it's okay. Like the great thing about nursing is that, and one thing I really love about being a nurse is that it's very flexible. There are many places that you can work as a nurse if it doesn't align with what you currently want in your life, and that's totally fine. You have to also use your career to help you live the life that you want to live, and not make it to where you are shaping your life based on your career. It has to be the other way around. So yeah, take it easy. Life is meant to be lived and enjoyed. So those are some of the things that I have learned in the last years of my life. You're in your 20s or 30s. These are things that I just wish I knew in my 20s. But you know, I guess these are things that you would learn along the way as well. Hopefully this video is valuable for you. My last video, I talked about money and budgeting, if you want to check that out. If you would like me to talk more about investing and other money topics as a nurse, then feel free to comment down below, because I love talking about financial freedom. I am on track retiring in the next 10 years, less than 10 years, and I am taking you along for the journey. So hope to see you in the next video. Bye.